Hey, hey, hey. Says I'm live. Says I have a whole bunch of people in here. Um, but it's not showing that I'm actually alive. Oh, well. We'll just go until it actually, I'll just talk to nothing because it's showing me that, oh, now it's showing me I'm here. Well, hello, all. Thanks, Xander. Well, I was going to cancel tonight, but, oh my goodness. I'm getting so many notices. Usually Friday night, so quiet that there's Remy goes live in New Brunswick and I go live here. And it's usually pretty quiet. Not tonight, folks. Not tonight. It would have been an okay night for me to take off, but I missed yesterday. That means I can't miss tonight. So I just want to say hello to everybody, and I want to apologize to Aunt Lynn for Wednesday. Not my whole day was turned around upside down. They switched the conference times, and one of my friends were actually speaking at the time, so I wanted to be there to support them. And considering the residents were paying for me to be at the conference, I really should have been at the conference, but I was supposed to be able to sneak out because there was going to be keynote speakers. Well, some of the keynote speakers I didn't care for. So that was going to be the time that you were going live. Guess what? They switched it. So again, I am so sorry that I had to pull out, but I don't have another conference booked until February. So I'm sure we'll get together before then. Now let's just go right back to the start. I actually got a briefing from a wonderful lady, and her amazing husband. Tell you what, if he drives a go-kart as good as he's chasing chickens right now, there's been a jailbreak, and I'm not going to spoil her story, but just know that Glenda and Sir Grace were supposed to be in here, but Sir Grace is running around chasing chickens, and let's just put Mrs. Doubtfire. She'd be chasing chickens too. They had a jailbreak. So she'll be here a little bit later once I get into the house. And, it was quite funny whenever she came in the back door and was like, please don't be angry. We'll be there. And there goes Sir Grace chasing a chicken. Oh, and it was, I wish I would have had that one on camera. Hopefully she's videoing something. Because it was funny, folks. Oh, yeah, Aunt Lynn. The chickens are just sitting there doing the chicken dance in front of Mrs. Doubtfire, and then made my night. So anyways, they'll be in a little bit later. And we got Homestead in the Wood with Dee. Hopefully your week went well, Dee. I was pretty disconnected from the whole world all week. Oh, I'm I don't know what to say, guys, other than that, and the chickens are going to give her a heart attack. Yeah, runaway chickens. Well, at least they're staying close, and it's not dark enough that they're going into their house. So it's still light enough that they're having fun. Yeah, one will go this way and one will go that way, and I'm sorry, Glenda, I really shouldn't be laughing, but I had to. So, yes, I was very disconnected this week. I had a municipal conference, and it's one of those, you work really hard and you play really hard. So, not saying I'm feeling the best right now. I'm blaming it on the food. I'm used to eating once a day. We were eating 3 squares a day. Ugh. Man. Yes. That is actually an Alaskan stop. I don't think we're going to that one. But yes, that's the NCL ship we're going to be on. That's the Encore. So thank you, actually, Lila. That's going to lead into what I wanted to talk about tonight. For those of you that want to order merch, read right here. Get your merch money in before Sunday. I am placing the order Monday. And it's got to go through as one order, or the price is darn near double. So, if you're interested and you're going, have at it. We have to get our order in. And then probably they're backed up right now. Excuse me, with school orders. And I said, well, we're not going for 2 years. So if it's 3 weeks, it's okay. And as soon as I get it, I'm going to put in another order for the bubble wrap like this. And then I'll get everybody's shirt, hoodies, and hat. I just ordered, I thought I had just made one up. Oh, I did. I ordered hat boxes. So we're all ready to go. It's going to be a lot of fun. Scott, Jen is charging your phone right now. She said, hi, Scott. Well, hello, Jen. You know, Jen, you guys be good. And don't put too much oil on those wheels. Because that's all we need. The older we get, the more fragile our bones get. That's all I'm going to say. Now, I know I'm way behind in the chat, but hello, Mrs. Doubtfire and Sir Grace, as you chase your chickens. Dark Lord Xander's here, Dee's here, Tiffany's here, Canadian Family Life, Marie, Aoki Homestead. Suzanne, did you get your order? You should. Hey, Kevin. Suzanne, you should have got your order by now. I resent it. I could look to see, but I think it did say delivered. Tony, it says yours is delivered. I want to make sure that you got yours. Mike, I got yours back. I don't know if Mike's in here or not. No. Suzanne, you did not get yours. It's going out this week. My bad. It missed the last shipment by a day. And the reason I know that is it's sitting right in front of my computer. So whenever you see this come in, your stuff will be there. So, oh, there's Mike. Mike, yours is here too, brother. Yours is going to go out. I got it returned as well. I have no idea what U.S. Post is up to. Everything but one thing got returned to me. And it wasn't even returned to my U.S. post office box. It was returned to my Canadian address. So I apologize. And of course, I will send them out one more time. Shipping is getting outrageous. I do like my new system. 7 days. 7 days was the lower end of Texas. So I can't complain at that. Those of you that did not see, well, I made a mistake with this one, but there's Miss Lisa's cup that was made, and then this one's going to be mine. For some reason, the green got left on, so it's my cup now, and I made her a new one. So I just have theirs to do, and I'm hoping I've got about $200 to order my shirt press. So I've been scrolling away all my money, and that's where I sit right now, is about $200. And I can order my shirt press, and I'll be able to do hats and shirts. So I should be set up and have everything ready to go. And Mr. Jim, if you're lurking in the back, your cup is going to go out this week too. If you could send me your address, that would be wonderful. I know I have it somewhere. I just don't know where. But I do have it scrolled away in a safe location. Shenster Travels, welcome. Oh, there's Beth. Can you hear him? Welcome. Jason's better half. Look at that. Glenda's she's texting and chasing chickens, and wow. She's a hard worker. Heartland with Dink and Tank. Howdy. How are you? Hopefully you guys are doing well. And I tell you what, folks, I saw the shenanigans that were starting to happen in Kentucky. Oh boy. I can see there being a lot of fun over the next day or so. Especially whenever, they are trying to get oil for luggage carts. Right there is enough to go, ooh, somebody's gonna get hurt. There's Randy, Missouri Outlaw. What's going on, Randy? And of course, Aunt Lynn. Lee, Fisherman 506. Welcome, brother. And Lee, your stuff should be. Yeah, your stuff should have been gone. You should have your stuff by now, hopefully. And there's Miss Lila. So, and Tony. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Well, good news. If she's sitting there, she got herself all her chickens.
Yes, I did. And I got my water.
Just that image of seeing Sir Grace running down that side, chasing the chicken is something that is embedded into my mind now.
Oh my gosh.
That was funny.
So it was one of the new babies that was spastic that got everybody completely off course. And I'm sitting here going, you guys are all supposed to be in this fence. And as you can see across my neck, one of the babies got me. So that just happened tonight. So so they're all wrangled up, and then I did a count to make sure I had all of them, and we're in. It's bedtime.
I don't. It's not showing that it's delivered yet, JB. But I'm sure the person that went to will let us know whenever they receive their surprise. I'm just about caught up here. I just want to finish saying hello to everybody. There's Tuber Chat, Kevin, Mike Henderson, Tony, our cabin with Ange. Mike Henderson, I've already said hi. No, I don't want to delete Xander. No. So speaking of Tuber Chat, if you guys are in need of hours, or if you're in need of some more friends, get over there and see Kevin. And I find, I'll be quite honest, it's about 70%. 70% of the people will support you. The other 30 are just out to try to get your thumbs up, and it's a one-way street. So that's pretty good. 70% for a grow channel like that. Kevin runs it pretty darn good. Speaking of Kevin, there is Scratchin' Pete, Makeup Mom and Son, Not for Nothing Homestead. G'day, Ginger. I think I am just about caught up because Pierogi's got her cup. She loves it, which is awesome. I actually think I got 2 more big orders from 2 different townships while I was at the conference. So I'll find out this week. I thought that I was charging about right. And come to find out, they told me that I undercut everybody by about $4 a cup.
Wow.
I went, I what?
Wow.
So guess what? For the townships, yeah, my price is going up. Yeah. And there we go. I am caught up. Excellent. So again, if you folks want merch from the Alaska trip or for the Alaska trip, ensure that you go to the Facebook page. All the information's there. You, for some reason, PayPal didn't let us. Anyways, it's a pain in the you know what. So if you cannot find, I think it's Scott Broom at Cruising Alaska or Cruising Alaska 25. I'm not sure what it is, but add my name to it, whatever it is on the Facebook page, or send me an email at ramblingwiththebrooms@gmail.com, and I will ensure your order gets put in. I know a couple people have sent checks to Jesse and Lisa. She also has what's that thing you guys have down there, Glenda?
Yes,
Zelle.
Zelle. And if you're going to Zelle money to Lisa,
Yeah.
you Zelle it to Lisa Leos, and the number to Zelle her is 832-439-8500. So if your bank allows Zelle, and then let's see here, e-transfer to Scott at Prior Batteries, PRIORBATTERIES @hotmail.com.
Yeah, and that there. That's just for the Canadian folks. Mm-hmm. Because there's no charge for that up here. It's pretty much like your Zelle, except it's not a text. It's done through email.
Well, ours is through the banks. Is how you have to. Some banks down here offer Zelle, not all of the banks.
Okay.
So it's in between your banks, and it's at no charge.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So it's pretty much like our e-transfer, but every bank up here. I don't know of one bank that you can't e-transfer anybody up here. So it's actually a really, really, I find myself like, even my my barber, I don't carry cash that often. Like, I've always got some cash on me, right, but if I can use the e-transfer, I do it that way. Right. It's a lot easier.
It's Zelle for us is similar to Venmo. A lot of people down here use Venmo, and that's a very popular one. It's no fees too.
Yeah. Tony, unfortunately, I could probably do it, but it's really hard because I know you can use your credit card through PayPal, and I know there's some people that are dead set against PayPal. I've never had an issue. Touch wood, never had an issue. So I don't know.
If you do PayPal, though, do friends and family.
Yes.
Please do
Yeah.
friends and family.
I am still waiting for little over $200 to come free. That's going to just, obviously I'm just going to put it on my credit card. And then once it's, I love PayPal. It's been great. Yeah, absolutely. D.
Yeah.
And Tony, but again, I know Tony won't use it. He had a very bad experience. Jerry is the same way. What Jerry does now is he has a card that's got zero balance. So he'll put like $100 on his PayPal with that card. And that way there, if somebody does try something foolish, they only get $100. Exactly. They can't get any more.
That's a very smart thing.
So, but no, I fully understand, Tony. I did have an issue. I called them and they fixed it within an hour. But that was like years ago. I think I've had PayPal now since 2010, and I had one issue about 2011. And like I said, they fixed it within hours because that was part of their agreement with you back then. If there was any issues or fraudulent issues, they fixed it right away. I don't know if they still do that or not, but anyways, so again, NCL has still got the 70% off. I don't know for how much longer, but I do know that it's up right now. I'm just actually looking here. .com. And if anybody has any questions, comments, whatever, I was talking to Terry again. And yeah, so right now they're still running the Labor Day sale, which is 70% off the second guest. It's the 250 cruise first credit, which you put down 250 and they take $500 off the price. Wow. So they match you 250. And it's actually only on for another 3 hours. So I guess till midnight tonight. Now, tell me. Let me turn down my brightness. Tell me this isn't going to be fun going through the mountains on that train ride.
I am looking forward to that. Just that alone.
I know.
Like as far as excursions, like that one's the one.
Yeah. That's what I said to Debbie. If there's only one, Terry had told me it's supposed to be expired today. Mm-hmm. It is at midnight. Mm-hmm. So, I know we're waiting on, there's a couple more people that are wanting to go. They haven't signed up yet. So hopefully they get in under the amazing, the Yukon Pass train ride is amazing. Yes, actually we're doing what I have booked right now is the 6.5 hour one that includes the lunch and the panning for gold. The one that goes into Canada and back again. So, oh, and there you go. Shancer Travels said that they went to Alaska in May and did the train ride, and it was amazing. So, and for folks that have never done a cruise and you can only do one excursion, that's fine. You can still get off the boat and walk around the ports. Like there's lots to see and do around the port as well. You can keep yourself busy all day. But, oh, pardon me. Excursions do get expensive. But again, I will recommend if it's your first time, make sure you research. Make sure you research them very good. If you don't go with an NCL approved make sure that you go with a sanctioned, I guess you'd call it, NCL excursion. Mm-hmm. Because if you don't and they're late, sorry about your luck. We'll be waving from our room as you're sitting on the dock because they will not hold the ship. Mm. The only way they will hold the ship, the only way they'll hold the ship is if you book through NCL. Then they're not allowed to, or if something dramatic happens that you're going to be hours and hours late, they will fly you to the next location at their cost. So, hey, Nez. So yeah, we're getting up there with the numbers. A lot more people are just waiting for about another year, and then they're going to pull the strings and go. Some people just don't like to tie up their money this far in advance. But there's also people that have thanked us for doing what we did because they had over 2 years to save for it. Yeah.
That would be me. Because there's no way I could just drop this money.
Well, and that, you know? That's us too. Like, there's just no way in heck we could have, dropped $6,000. And I am praying that the price or the exchange rate changes. Because right now we're paying 30 cents on the dollar.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah. So the $6,000 is now turned into about an $8,200 trip.
So,
and that's a whole lot of.
So Grace is having to chase chickens, and I'm teaching him now because this is going to be our way that we pay for this trip. If your chickens are running around.
Oh, he's going to be a chicken chaser.
So we're practicing this.
Well, I found it rather unique whenever he was using his cane, and kind of bumping the chickens, and they'd fly up in the air. No, I'm just kidding.
He didn't use a cane out there, but he was out there chasing. He was like, "They keep getting away from me," so we're practicing. I'm like, "Babe, we got to pay for this cruise. Come on now."
Exactly. We got to sell some eggs, honey. Let's go.
This is your new job. I found something. Chase chickens.
Sir Grace is now the professional chicken chaser.
Yes. And that's how we're gonna get to go on this cruise.
Oh dear, I've got so many comebacks for that, but I wouldn't do that to my brother.
No.
Oh man. Yeah. And what's your name? Sir Grace. I'm a professional chicken chaser.
He's not here, so I can just pick on him and he'll be okay. I keep
Well,
looking.
that's it. It's not like, he could be listening somewhere, but I'm
He
kind of
could.
hoping he's not.
Well, I just like to pick on him a little bit every now and then.
Amen.
It
And
keeps it
that's
going. Keeps him smiling.
well, and that's, it's actually quite funny. Lucas that you'll see come in here. He's, not that it's the same thing as what Sir Grace, but he's
Mhm.
special needs and everybody treats him differently.
Mhm.
Well, I pick on him like any other one of my boys, and
Yeah.
he's thanked me for it.
Yeah.
He's like, I appreciate that you actually go out of your way to make fun of me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, I'll make fun of you. I'll make fun of anybody.
Yeah.
But I said,
Exactly.
it's just the way I do things.
Mhm.
And he loves it. Absolutely loves it.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, you're still human being, and that's
Absolutely. It's just some people don't understand that you don't have to walk on eggshells. Most of the folks have come to the grips with their new reality.
yeah. Well,
And if you kind of point that out every time you talk to them, guess what?
yeah.
Where if we're constantly joking, they get to forget about their handicap. And
Well, here's what I
I
always
hate
say.
that word. I hate
No,
that word.
and the word disability is the word ability.
Yes.
And you have the ability to live an awesome, amazing life.
Yeah.
Maybe doing something, a task or whatever, a little bit different, but you still have the ability to keep
Yeah.
going, and you should, and you need to find humor in things. And Sir Grace has got some pretty horrible jokes about being legally blind. Now, he can see within 4 feet. So if you're getting into his space and he can see you, he's going to see you. But he has got
Yeah.
some horrible jokes, and I can guarantee you he has tripped a lot of people up. But inside, he's laughing because he knows he's about to trip you up.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Oh
it, you can either be down or you can laugh. And people with different kinds of. I've been around the military wounded warriors,
yeah.
and to see them. If you think your life is bad, you should go hang out with wounded warriors. I've seen our wounded shoot with the bow and arrow with their teeth. I've seen bicyclists, people who are amputees riding bikes. It's amazing. So I say, go out and live your life,
Yeah.
and laugh and
So
enjoy it. And
the
oh,
games, what is it? Not
the Invictus
indigenous.
Games. Invictus
Yes.
Games. Hmm.
We have actually there was just a piece on the news this week. I guess Monday night
Oh,
that we are sending 33 wounded warriors to the games this year. Yes.
yay.
Right from mental health
Yep.
straight through to people that have lost limbs and more. And
I'm
you
getting
know,
goosebumps. I'm serious. I'm sitting here just
yeah,
going, okay. That is, I,
yeah,
so Sir Grace went and did the trials for his branch of service several years ago. He took gold in archery, and they literally blindfolded him, even though he's legally blind, because there's so many different visual acuities when you're legally blind. It's
yeah,
not just your vision shut off. That's it. There's so many different classifications of this. So everybody gets blindfolded, and I actually saw him with his recurve bow hit that target, and I couldn't believe it. Now, he didn't advance on to the Warrior Games, which is where all of the United States branches get together and then they compete. He didn't make it that team, but at that point, then they take the best of the best, and those who need it the most, that is the key, the ones that need it the most for their
yeah.
journey to go on to Invictus and represent the United States. It is, I'm telling you, if you ever get to go do this, where it doesn't matter what country, because there's several countries involved. You go and support and just be ready to walk out going, I am I'm so proud, and I've got reason to keep going, and I'm gonna cheer these people on, and it's just you walk away just a whole new person, and it's
Yep.
incredible. And I'll be honest, just on his journey just alone, he didn't want to go and do this at the beginning. He absolutely did not want to go. He was kicking and screaming, and by the end of his first week of doing adaptive sports, I saw a new man. He literally threw the puppy's leash at me, threw his wallet at me, and said, "Bye-bye." And I'm like, "That's my husband.
Yeah.
That's my husband. That's what these games are all about."
Absolutely.
It's
Absolutely.
cool.
And it's, I don't know. It's just, we've talked offline,
Yeah.
and I just wish that, you folks don't think your VA does enough.
Mm.
Like we have one VA hospital. That's it in all
It's
the country.
absolutely insane to me. Should not
Yeah.
be that way.
No, no.
Mm-mm.
Like, yeah, a lot of it is done through outpatients, and um yeah, it just they've got zero level of support,
Yeah.
and that's why,
Right.
whenever Kyle's just debating now, does he stay in
Mm.
or does he go to border patrol?
Mm.
And he's got a big decision to make,
That
and
is.
we'll support any way he decides to go.
He's a hero
uh,
no matter what he decides to do in his journey.
that's it. He's been in 5 years as it is, and I can already see a change in the kid, but I had to sign for him to go because he went in early.
Oh, yeah. Mhm.
you know. But like I said to him last week, I said, look at it this way, dude. The first year you couldn't even put into your pension. And I said, right now, you've got 4 years into a pension. And I said, you're 21. And I'm like, but I can already see he's transferred, or he's transitioned from a boy to a man.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like he's doing stuff that blows me away. Like he's ranked up now 4 times.
Oh my gosh, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
You've
Like
got
it's just
such a proud dad.
no, yeah,
You
without a doubt,
Yeah.
and but yeah, no, he's ranked up 4 times, and he's not sure if he wants to rank up anymore because then they want him to get into the training side of things, and he doesn't want to train.
Mm.
Like he's been training all this summer,
Mm.
and he had a crap summer.
Mm.
He'd rather get out and show them hands on how to fire the guns and whatever else.
Mhm.
He doesn't want to sit in a classroom and teach a bunch of people.
Yeah.
And that comes with age too. He's 21, and some of these people that are enlisting into the reserves are 50. Well, they don't know how to take that. Kyle's, he's at a fairly high rank for his age. And I think he's starting to get a little bit of a pushback from some of the privates that are twice his age. Actually, some of them are older than me.
Oh my gosh.
But they're retired and they want to give back to their country.
Mm.
They've done their, whatever their life. They're living on a pension now. And then they can, go in the reserves and whatever. But it's just like anything else, and the military is no different than just the normal, hey, Deborah, just the normal, everyday kind of walking the. Hi, Sir Grace.
Hello. He said, hello.
You chicken chaser.
I I made him pick up something for me because I was going, hello. I need my charger. Hang on, I'm gonna plug in real quick. It's
Yeah.
Let's see.
But it's a major thing right now, and it's in every walk of life.
Oh
is
yeah.
mental illness.
Yeah, it really is.
Inability of the inability to even know what they're how to combat it. They have no idea.
No.
And you know, it just, it's not. Yes, the military has, you know, these people, they, you know, part of the military is they break you.
Yeah.
They show you how far you have to get down.
Yeah.
To lean on your brother beside you. And you know, in doing that, like I said to one of my buddies, he's quite high up. We grew up together, and you know, he's got, you know, well, he could leave now with a full pension, but but like I said, you know, you guys as top brass should have the proper ability to help these folks.
Yep.
I said, you know, yes, we're very fortunate right now that we're not in Iraq. You know, we're not in an active war right now.
Right.
Some of them are sitting on the sidelines waiting. Like one of Kyle's good friends, he's in a location right now. You know.
Yeah.
And they're just waiting for something to happen. And I believe everybody knows where they're sitting.
Sure.
But, you know, they wake up in the morning and they never know if they're going to be deployed into active duty or not.
Yeah.
Right now, yes, they're considered active duty because they're over there, but they're not in active duty. You know, they get to stay in the barracks or they in their little compound. But yeah, like I said to him, you know, you guys should be fixing them mentally. Like there should be some, either a 5-year or even a 3-year exit strategy.
Mm-hmm. So I've had some talks with, I've had the opportunity to talk to some pretty high up. I mean, we're talking very, very, very high up commanders and their spouses. And one of the things that when I was sharing my journey as a caregiver was saying that they need to start with breaking the stigma. Because I don't know about in Canada, but in the United States, there is a huge stigma associated with mental illness.
Oh yeah.
And it makes things more difficult for our service members to get the help that they need because there's shame and there's guilt and there's I just don't know where to turn because I might get turned in. I could lose my job. I mean, and that's why I had a conversation. I said, it's got to start with breaking the stigma. And that's how you get that started. That's, you know, to get them in for help, for screenings, and then get that support right behind them and say, you know, we are brothers, we are sisters, we got each other's back.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where it begins, at the very foundation. And then the other thing, when Sir Grice was in the military, I was what was called a key spouse, and I took care of the deployed families. And part of my training, it was a volunteer position. It was not a paid position. It was a volunteer.
Mhm.
And I went and I had all of my training. I knew exactly, like, we would welcome people in to the installation. Hey, welcome. This is your new family, or when they had babies, we were there when they had babies.
Yeah.
I could tell you what happens if they make the ultimate sacrifice, the step by step by step, da 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 da. Not one bit of my training was if they come back and they're wounded, ill, or injured. And that
Mhm.
includes mental illness.
Mhm.
Not once. And that's something that I have also a conversation with. And so we've got to train our key spouses how to support this as well to help encourage these families to get them
Well,
up and get going.
and like I said to him, there should be an entrance exam.
Oh, yeah.
Some of these folks that are going in have mental illness going in. This
Yeah.
is only going to put them to the breaking point.
Hmm.
And that's why we're losing so many amazing, men and women
Yeah.
in our military. And it sickens me to no end.
Now, do you
And
know what the statistic is for the Canadian Forces? How many a day? In the United States, it's
I
22
did,
for us.
yeah, I think we're like around 5,
Okay.
but
One is
you
too
know,
many. One, my standard is one is too many.
exactly, it shouldn't happen.
But I just wondered if you knew what the numbers were.
I think
It,
it was
it's
5 the last time that I was talking to my buddy. Hey, Jonesy.
well, it sickens me to no end. We,
Yeah.
and we have lost um, friends. In fact, we lost one a few months ago. So it still sickens me. I saw his stone not too long ago for the first time. So very, very, very close connection. So that's why I say one is too many. So yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah,
There needs to be a screening. We have it with ours. They have to go through the MEP station with ours to get fully screened. But I don't know what all that entails because I didn't join. I just know what Sir Grace did.
yeah. I know, like Kyle will have to do that whenever, um, whenever he does enters the police force. But
Okay.
that's because
Mhm.
they've got a gun on them 24/7, and
Sure.
um, you know. I'm just trying to text my buddy here to see if he knows
Oh,
the number off the top of his head.
yeah. Well, I mean, if you
Like right
the thing
now, we've got 68,000 active personnel and 27,000 reserves. That's all our military consists
yeah.
of. But they're, you know, our guys, they have to do multiple jobs because they don't have the numbers that you guys do.
Mhm.
So they were just up here playing war, not this summer, but maybe last summer.
Okay.
And Kyle got talking to some of the reservists from down below.
Mhm.
And for what we have 3 guys do, you have 8.
Mm.
So it's more of a, our guys, because they're short numbers, they
Mhm.
have to do 3 jobs to the one.
Right. Right. It's a
And
tough job to be in the military. I mean, that's, and then to have that many jobs, that's a lot.
oh yeah.
It really is. And the other thing is that we are friends with our people are friends with your people. I mean, like, this is a family
Yeah,
situation. So my hat's
absolutely
off
it
to
is.
them, you know. big time. I tell you, kind of back to the adaptive sport thing. When Sir Grace took the gold medal, we had a gentleman from England come over because their forces came in, and I can't remember, there was another country that brought theirs in to compete at our
Yep.
trials. And talking about that camaraderie, I saw a gentleman from England help Sir Grace tune up his stance. And I just thought that was such a really awesome moment to see that friendship of, and they were competitors. They
Yeah.
were competing against each other, and it was just
So he just replied back.
okay.
Two active members a month that they can confirm. That's not men that are in for maybe a year, get out, and then 5 years down the road.
Right.
That's just
This is
that they
active.
can confirm is 2 members per month.
Unacceptable. Unacceptable.
And yeah, absolutely, Lila. It's going to be fun.
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and say it. You can't hold me to it, but I think I got us 10% off on top of the $50.
Wow.
So I'm still working on it. I'm still trying to get us more, but right now it's well over $100 off. That should work out. So yeah.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah. Hey, Mama Jams.
And I'm gonna say,
And
hey,
probably the bunkster in the background too. How are yous? Why would you have to worry about anything, Lila? What did I say?
I've never been on a train. Never. She says, I'm crazy excited about the train ride. I've never been near a train, let alone in one. I think that's what she's referring to.
Oh, hell.
It's gonna be so much fun.
Exactly.
So much fun.
You're gonna, I'm telling you right now, you're going, I think they said there's still part of the bridge. One part of the bridge that they can still say is from the 1800s.
Wow.
Most of it's all been reconstructed, but it goes into Canada and then turns around and comes back. My wild home. Hey, Melody, Ryan. But yeah. So I know it's a subject that people don't like to talk about, but it is such a
it's an important one to make sure, because I mean, I don't think people realize it, and if you've never been in the military and you meet somebody who is dealing with these problems, I'll tell you the best thing you can do, one, treat them
Is
like
Aunt Lynn going to bed?
yeah, she is. Treat
Oh,
them
night, Aunt Lynn.
Mhm. And then just listen to them, let them talk. If they so share what's going on, and let them know that you're right there with them, and if in crisis, call, is it 9988? There's a new number that we've got,
Oh, awesome.
the crisis line. Make sure you contact the crisis line if they're in crisis.
Well, and that's
the
it.
most
And
important thing. And be right there with them, and let them know that they matter and that they are important, and stand by them. And when it comes to, I can't speak to anything else other than post-traumatic stress. It actually is a physical ailment, not just a psychological. The hippocampus part of your brain is the blood flow specifically is running really fast. And you can, I mean, people get SPECT MRIs, and for brain injuries or whatnot, and you can
Yeah.
see where that hippocampus part of the brain, so brain injury, you have low blood flow. In a normal brain, it's just normally flowing, but with post-traumatic stress, and it could be from anything, whatever. But if you know somebody's diagnosed with post-traumatic stress, it is a high blood flow, and in imaging and color imaging, it's going to be red and orange. If you get to see that
Okay.
color, it's really um, fascinating with the SPECT MRI. It's not just a regular MRI; it's a
Mhm.
SPECT. Um, so it is a physical problem, not them just being silly or whatever
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
goes along with it. You know what I mean? They can't just get over it. It's a physical ailment, but there is help, and the sooner you get in to get help, the better.
Yep. And Xander, I agree 100%. Your veterans are my veterans, and my veterans are your veterans.
Absolutely, and I agree
They
with that
still
statement.
fought arm in arm. They've
Mhm.
trained arm in arm to
Yes.
protect every single one of our lives so that we can sit here on a Friday night
Yeah,
and talk to our friends.
absolutely.
And it just absolutely. And it actually made me last night. I was heading up to my room. The music was really loud. It was good, but it was really loud, and I just wasn't into it last night.
Mm,
So I was heading up, and there was three members. One was Army, one was Air Force, two were Air Force.
mm.
Um, and they were going up to their rooms. And, we went up, and I'm like, I'm going to wait and see if any one of these people say anything to these guys. I waited. Every single one of them got off the thing, didn't even acknowledge these guys. They were in uniform. And I just, before I got off, I just turned around and I said, thank you for
Yeah.
your service. And the one, you could tell, the younger kids, and even Kyle, he doesn't know how to take it yet because it's still, you know, don't thank me. I haven't done anything yet. Well, yeah, you have. You're you're ready to go. If called upon, you will go.
Yeah.
And the one older fellow was like, thank you.
Mm,
And I'm like, I'm sorry that they did not
yeah.
say thank you. I said, and
It
they're not.
breaks.
They may be Canadian citizens, but they are not. Didn't originate from Canada.
Mm,
May I say that?
mm,
And it just floors me. It's like you're here enjoying your blessed life
yeah.
because of what these guys have done.
Yeah.
And I know one of them, I did not hear of any fighters in town,
Mm,
but he had the stripes.
yeah.
He was one of them was at least a fighter, and I don't know if the other guy was an engineer or not. And the military, or just the army guy, not just the army guy, but the army
No,
guy, I believe he might have been actually their driver or something.
oh, okay.
But one was definitely a
Mm,
fighter pilot.
yeah. I'll tell
And
you
it's
what,
like,
it's sometimes even veterans have a hard time hearing thank you for your service. And what I've learned to say is, I thank you with a grateful heart. And I mean with a sincere, grateful heart. Thank you
yeah,
for what you did for our country. And that kind of helps, 'cause sometimes they don't know what to think. It takes them back a little bit.
yeah,
And they'll go, well, I just was doing my job. Well, your job is why I get to sit here on with rambling with the brooms tonight, or,
yeah,
I just whatever, I get to live here in a free world and and like you said, our countries are friends. And yeah, I mean, arm in arm. Sir Grace, if he was up here, he'd say, "Oh yeah,
Yeah,
oh yeah," because he knows firsthand on that one.
absolutely. And Alexander, that these big corporate hotels, whatever,
Yeah.
but the bigger they get, the less they actually say anything
Mhm.
because they don't want to offend anybody
Yeah.
because that is one night stay. But yet, if they were to stick their neck out on the line and support our troops, like Tim Hortons up here, Kyle has not paid while he's in uniform,
Right.
has never paid for anything. That's
Wow.
their corporate policy.
That's
And they
amazing.
also do it with the police.
Oh, that's wonderful.
The reason why they do it for the police, they want a coffee. Guess where they're going to go? Where it's free.
Yeah.
Well, you've always got police officers around. You're not going to get held up.
Mm-mm. No.
Again, it's they're using their heads.
Hmm. Yeah. They are.
So the military, there's always a military member because right now I'm only an hour from the second largest base in Canada,
Oh wow.
and that's the one Kyle's at. Um, the biggest one is actually at West, and yeah, I'm an hour. I grew up 10 minutes from the second largest base. I actually dated the base commander's daughter
Oh wow.
back in whenever I was a teenager.
Okay.
That was dumb.
I
He knows
was
far
gonna
too
say
many.
that was pretty brave there, Scott, to date the
No,
commander.
that was just stupid.
Wow. You know, the other thing I'm gonna touch on being a caregiver is that, if you don't mind, can I share a little bit? Okay. I can't
That's what
speak.
I'm doing tonight.
Okay. Well, I can't speak to anything about Canada, and so please forgive me. I can only speak to what's in the
Yep.
United States. Um, in the United States, there are 5.5 million military and veteran caregivers, and that's according to the 2014 RAND study on military and veteran caregivers. And I didn't just throw that number out, that is a fact, 5.5 million.
Yep.
And they've done another study on the hidden helpers, I want to say that right, which are the children of our military. And I know that they're
Okay.
getting ready to do another study on to bring these numbers up to date, and also to see what the suicide rate is for the caregivers as well.
Yep.
And I didn't say active duty military or veterans. I'm saying the caregivers, because we are isolated, we are alone, and we don't know where to
Absolutely.
turn to. And then you get thrown into this, like you, everything's normal, 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 and then all of a sudden your life is flipped straight upside down, and you're taking care of somebody else. And so there are resources in the United States. That's why I've come out and said I am a caregiver, but I also am an advocate for this community. And I think it's
Yeah.
important that we take a focus on them too. I've had friends who have struggled with suicidal ideations, and their loved ones are the veterans, because
Mhm.
they've had to give up jobs. Their lives have been, completely flipped. They're now the single parent in the relationship.
Yeah.
um, and not knowing where to turn to for resources to support. And my other thing that I like to say is that Sir Grace's branch of service is the only one that has resources for the caregivers. Like, they have an active duty, like, focus on them, and we need to get it into all the branches. And that's what his branch was always saying. We need to get that focus. But the reason that I am so resilient is because of his branch of service being right there on top, going, let me throw my arms around you. Let me get you
Yep.
through this.
We're gonna embrace you and
Embrace you. Yeah.
yeah.
So,
Hey DJ.
it is men on journey, and I've shared a little bit of the journey of my journey. I won't go too far on Sir Grace because that's private, but
That's right.
mine I have shared, and it is a struggle. And um, you know, but I'm doing good, by the way. You know, I don't want to scare anybody or anything, but I just want to make sure that we know that there are that many caregivers taking care of our veterans, and all you have to do is walk into a VA system or a hospital and just look. I met a caregiver, oh gosh, about a year ago now, Vietnam era.
So
And
true, mums. So true.
yep, yeah, I agree. Um, so this wife was so frustrated and so lost and didn't think that she could get resources and help because her husband was Vietnam era.
Oh,
I'm like,
geez.
girl, girl. So I just started talking to her and I'm like, here you go. You know, you can get help. And to see her so distraught, and then but she goes, you get it. And I went, you don't have to explain anything to me. I know
Yeah.
what you're feeling. I know. I get it.
Well,
You want to talk, I'll listen, but I got you, girl. And she
even
walked,
look at the one person in our group that you talked to behind the scenes a couple of weeks ago.
yeah,
They're not even related blood,
no,
and they're helping
sis.
this veteran that's having issues because there's nobody there for him. And that wrenched at my heartstrings, that
So
he is sitting in a home by himself
yeah,
because he doesn't know what's available to him. And that should be the number one thing of the VA, is if they know somebody's having a rough time or going through issues like that,
right,
they should be picking up the phone and sending people to them.
right. So the foundation that I'm with has a partnership with the VA, and I'm not going to, it's been 10 years in the making. No, wait a minute, 23, sorry, 11 years in the
Okay.
making. Okay. And so it take, you know, as with anything in the government, it takes time.
Yeah.
But I am starting to see them helping to identify, but wait, there's more work to be done. I'm not saying, oh, it's perfect. No, it's not.
Yeah.
No, it's not. But
Yeah.
I see the scratch surface starting now. But as far as the caregivers, the spouses are not the majority of them. Oh, by the way, because the divorce rate, only a third, and this is a statistic, survive this. Only a third of marriages survive this. And every time I've turned around, I have had friends divorce their spouses because they don't know what to do. They're lost. They don't have the resources. They don't have the help. They don't have the support. They don't know what, you know, they don't understand what's going on. And
And let's face it, a marriage is rough, is tough to start with.
yeah, now let's add,
Now add in, you know, work related injury,
mhm, yeah,
and with no help.
exactly. So
Like,
now the caregivers are the children, the parents, it could be a neighbor, could be a friend, and you know, the caregiver is in such a broad, you know, population.
yeah,
So most people think it's a spouse, and I want to make sure that people know, no, it's not. So, um, and if you're thinking, well, could I be a caregiver? Let me ask you, are you doing medication management? Are you helping to transfer somebody in and out of a shower bed? Are you taking them to their medical appointments? Are you advocating for them? Are you helping them to feed? Are you cooking for them? You're a caregiver if you said yes to any one of those things. And the list is long too. Oh, by the way, I didn't list everything. But you're a
yeah.
caregiver. And there in the United States, there are resources. So,
Well,
my favorite
uh,
one is to Google, and I don't have it in front of me. So actually, let me get my favorite website, hiddenheroes.org. That is my favorite one. Thank you. Yeah. Well, I've known Sir Grace for many, many years. And
Just
poor,
a few.
poor sucker has to be married to me because I'm like, we're going. That life's not over. Keep going. He's a good man. He is. I married. I love the fact that y'all gave him the name Sir Grace. He is royalty, and he has always been royalty to me.
Well,
So
he's always
that was
royalty
the
to
most
us. So
fitting name. But
yeah,
and I wanted to make sure I shared a little bit of that. But here, let me type it in the chat too. I don't know if
yeah,
this. I'm
exactly.
hoping this will come in on your side, but I don't know.
It should.
Okay.
Because you're up on my panel.
Okay.
It should come on both sides.
Okay. So please, if you know somebody's a caregiver, or you suspect that they are, please share hiddenheroes.org with them. And the other thing, and I'm not like saying that, oh, it's the government or anything, whatever, but there's a resource guide. If you Google DOD, Department of Defense, Caregiver Resource Directory, just Google that. It'll take you to the online book and it'll show you what's out there. And some things are by branch, some things you need like a certain percentage of disability, some is for, an era of service members. It's very specific, but I mean, it's a Pandora's box.
It
There's
didn't
help.
come true, but I will
Oh, yes,
go
please.
there so people can see it
Thank
underneath.
you. Please share that. There are resources there. It is a foundation that was started by Senator Elizabeth Dole. It was Bob Dole's wife. And this organization holds a very special spot in my heart. And I can back this one up wholeheartedly. I will. Thank you. I will. He is an overcomer. And
He's a special man.
he is. Our family is very rich with military history. Y'all know Lynn of the Ann Lynn show. She is an Army veteran herself, and her husband is a Marine and an Army soldier. Sir Grace's father is a wounded warrior as well, but he doesn't identify as one, but we know he is. So we support Sir Grace's dad. He served in the Army, and my grandfather was in the Army, and I have a grandfather that was in the Navy. I'm telling you, we have a rich history. So yeah, and you have his pens. So Sir Grace, that is something that brings him so much pride and joy when he makes those pens. He really, he went out to the VA out in California to learn how to do that. And he said, I'm learning how to use a lathe. And I'm like, what are you doing? And he goes, I'm making ink pens. And you could hear just the light and the brightness. So for Christmas, I turned around, bought him a lathe. Not a big one. Don't get too excited. I wish I could afford a big one, but just one where he can sit.
But it's just the perfect size to make his pens. He doesn't need any bigger.
He is doing so good. I'm so proud. But he's done ink pens, and he's done the wine corks, and he has done crochet hooks, and he has done xylophone little things too. The little mallets for the xylophone for a neighbor, for a child whose mallets broke. Sir Grace turned some for him.
So Tony's wife, Angie, nurse for 26 years, and Nevers Warding is taking care of a hero.
And we love our nurses at our VA.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, it has been some nurses that have really gotten things going for Sir Grace. So we love our nurses, and I just want to make sure if you're a nurse and you're working at the VA or did work, thank you for what you did. I see you as a caregiver. I see you a lot of you guys have worked with me. Get these doctors in line. Y'all are amazing. Just saying.
I believe she's still an active nurse. I don't know if she's with the VA or.
All right. Well, let me know. But I'm just going to say thank you, because we need more good nurses. And I mean, I'm serious that I had a nurse that I've been working with for about 2 years, and I've had some battles, and I had never met this particular nurse in person. I just met her over the phone, or talked to her over the phone. And she found out we were in the clinic, and she popped her head out and she introduced herself to me. And I grabbed her. So like, you rock house. You rock house. Real quick. Hi, Carrie.
Yeah.
Hey.
Carrie, my Canadian neighbor.
Yeah.
From about 6.5 hours down the highway. But well, Ange, I'm your first subscriber. So I guess she just made the Angie Air Cabin in the Woods. So I just went on and I was her first subscriber. Hey, Cora.
Yes, thank you to all the nurses that serve our veterans. Absolutely.
Well, all our healthcare professionals need, especially after the last 3 years that they've went through.
Oh my gosh.
And Debbie and them are still burned out. And I've actually seen a change in her.
Yeah, I believe it.
With it just, it's disgusting. But, all the hospital bigwigs got big promotions and raises, and, wow. Debbie being an x-ray tech during the last 3 years, anybody with active, her face, whenever they were intubating them, her face is within a foot of their face. Anyways, don't get me started. Hey, Sean.
Well, my hat's off to all of our medical team, because we need more really good medical providers, and we can't be losing them. And excuse me, I want to make sure I include everybody.
Well,
I've met some really amazing people outside of the VA too. I am so appreciative for my medical team. I hate going to the doctor for myself. I don't mind sharing that. I hate it because I live at a VA hospital. I'm like, hey, my ear hurts. Can you just like check my ear when I'm in the VA? Can you just like look in there? Because I hate going. But when I go in and I'm like, hey, I'm actually here, they take you seriously, right now. So I'm like, y'all can't leave. You have to stay. But I know it is a tough job working in the medical field. It really genuinely is. And I appreciate everybody who stays. And still working at the VA. Okay. Thank you. We need you. Please don't leave the VA, Angie. We need you. Just hear that from a caregiver. We need you. So yes, I thank you, nurses, to save my life back in 2017.
Yeah.
Exactly.
They're a profession that, whenever you see all these multimillionaire hockey players and basketball players and baseball players that are making $280 some odd million, and then, you see some of these healthcare professionals that are, just trying to make ends meet, and they're actually saving lives, not throwing around a ball or hitting a puck.
No. Yeah. No, I had a really good nurse. I'm not gonna go in details what happened, but something had freaked me out, and I still feel bad to this day. And I wish I could just like go back and apologize, but I got so scared. And it was an emergency, and I literally grabbed this poor nurse so hard that I know that I left divots, because I was with my nails, holding on, squeezing, and she kept going, "It's gonna be okay, it's gonna be okay." She was incredible. It was a
Hmm.
huge emergency, huge. I'm not that kind of person to like, "I'm scared," you know? But that nurse left an impact on my life. She was so calm and so kind. And I still feel bad I put divots in her, but I was freaked out, and I didn't realize how hard I was holding on.
You know what, though? Those nurses are actually doing it because they love, you know, Angie probably got into the medical field because she loved it.
Yeah,
Now people are getting into it because it's good money.
yeah.
They go in, they do the basic, same as we're having issues right now with school teachers.
Oh my
And
gosh.
we're having issues where they don't want to, all the new kids that are coming up now that have, they went to school, they come in for 8:30, they leave at 20 after 2,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
that's it. They forget about, and I actually reminded one guy this year. I coached him,
Mhm,
and football got that kid through high school.
mhm. I believe it.
Now he won't don't need any time.
Mm,
And I said, you're going to tell these 40 or 50, 60 kids that they don't mean as much as what you did? I said, I worked full time and still coached your ass at night.
right.
He's now coaching.
Good.
After my little speech of, you know, I've coached
Kick them
for
into
30
place.
some, absolutely. Like,
Yes.
I'm
Yes, you
sorry,
have to
but
be
you're no more important than these kids, and some of these kids are going to need sport to get through school.
yeah, yeah.
And it's like, and
Well, I'm a mom of 2 teachers. I don't know if I
the
told you
Papa
this.
Bear, the Papa Bear kind of come out in me, and it was like, "Arr!" And
I need
I
more of
scared
you.
the living bejesus out of him
Good. Sorry, not sorry. Good.
at
I'm
work.
a mom of 2 teachers, mom and mother-in-law of 2 one of teachers,
Yeah,
and I know exactly what happens. I get that phone call, "Mom, let me just tell you." And
yeah.
I'm like, "Okay, honey, I'll listen." So I get to hear the stories as mama, and
Well, and what's
we
not
need good
fair is
coaches.
our teachers up here are almost paid double of
Oh
what your
my
guys are
gosh.
down there.
Absolutely.
Starting out, first year teachers here are 65,000 a year.
I can tell you that's not what I'm not at liberty to
I
say how
know,
much my son makes or my daughter-in-law,
I
but
know. I have an idea
not
because we have friends down there.
not that much, I can tell you that.
Oh,
Not
I
that much. But that,
so
that they're both doing it because they love teaching, and it makes perfect sense as my son was growing up, I always thought he was gonna go in the engineering route, like, his brain is just engineering,
yeah,
and then we ended up at this college, and he goes, "This is where I'm gonna go," but I went, "This isn't an engineering school. What do you mean?" And he goes, "I'm gonna be a teacher." And then it was just like in a flashback, I went, "Okay, that makes sense from kindergarten all the way up. Now that makes sense. Okay, I was completely off." And he loves it.
yep,
He loves it. He's now a professor on loan uh, for a big university. And so he
yep.
teaches the college classes at his high school.
Like a first year principal with, I'm trying to think how many years she's got. Not even 12 years in, she's making 127,000.
Oh my gosh. That's insane.
That's a primary school principal.
No, I can tell you that's not what my son would be making if he was principal. All right, no way.
Yeah.
Nowhere near that. Mm-mm.
Anyways, who have we got in here that are still because Lisa is going on and I've had a heck of a week, so I'm just going to keep it. Do I have anybody that can drop Lisa's? Lila, can you drop Yogi Hollow Farms, please? And let's go over and give Lisa a love raid. And this kitty cat's going to bed.
I think you need
It's been a long week.
Yes, it has. Yes, it has.
Or any one of my mods. I'm not sure who's all still in here. Oh, there we go. Perfect. Thank you, Mom.
Okay.
Yeah, Mom's got it. But
fantastic.
Anyways, thank you all for coming out. And next week I'm back to normal. So, Joe, Garden State Gardener, starts his Sunday Fun Day again this Sunday, and I will be on talking about the cruise.
Yay.
So pop over and say hello to Joe. Sunday, I think it's at 7 Eastern, 6 Central, and I'll post the link anyways. So
okay.
Anyways, everybody go over and give Lisa a love raid, and I will meet you guys over there.
Bye, you guys.
Have a good night, guys. Take care.